This is Liu. He is 64 years old, a Chinese street cleaner. He works 12 hours a day, from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Today's temperature will reach 38 degrees Celsius. For Liu, it's going to be a tough day. After getting up, Liu doesn't wash up. He leaves his room. Because there is no bathroom in his room, so every morning, he has to walk 100 meters to a public restroom nearby. In summer, it's not a big deal, but in the cold winter, this can be a real challenge. While Liu is in the restroom, let's look at where he lives. Look, this is a common type of neighborhood in Chinese cities. An urban village. These areas used to be rural villages. As cities expanded, they gradually became part of the city. The facilities here are basic, and the environment is not as good as modern residential communities. But there is one big advantage. The rent is cheap. Liu is back. Let's ask him how much he pays for rent. 360 yuan. That's just $50. It's only about a quarter of the rent for a new apartment nearby. Besides having no bathroom, the room has another problem. It leaks. Look, the ceiling is already damaged. Still, Liu puts up with all of this. He earns only 4,200 yuan a month, about $600. So every expense matters. Just like normal, Liu takes about 20 minutes to get ready. But before he leaves, there is one more thing he has to do. Take medicine. Liu has high blood pressure, so he has to take medicine every day. Now it's 4:40 a.m. Li heads to work. But just after leaving the village, he suddenly stopped. He parks his bike and runs back. What happened? I thought he had forgotten his phone or wallet. But I was wrong. He had just forgotten his water bottle. In 38 degrees Celsius heat, he can't work without water. That's for sure. But later, Li told me the real reason. He doesn't want to buy water. He just wants to save money. It takes Liu about 20 minutes to ride to work. Every morning, he stops at the same breakfast stall. Today, he gets a sticky rice roll. Let's ask him how much it costs.
4块钱
Don't you usually make breakfast at home?
在外面划算，自己做也是要这个价钱。
At around 5 a.m., Liu arrives at his street. He grabs a broom from the garbage station and starts sweeping right away. I was curious, how much road does a 64-year-old man have to clean every day? Liu told me he is responsible for about 200 meters of street. To be honest, when I heard 200 meters, I thought it would be easy. But after taking a closer look, I realized it wasn't. Look, garbage everywhere. Actually, this is a busy area with many late-night food stalls. This is the same street at night. So for street cleaners, this is really one of the harder sections. Liu has already been working for an hour. The streets are getting busier. I asked him, do you have to start work on time every day?
晚一点也没关系，自己的活嘛，每天要把它干完了，自己尽责。
Liu earns 4,200 yuan a month, about $600. In July and August, he gets an extra 200 yuan for the heat. Even with that, it's still not a high income in China. He has no other benefits. Even so, Liu really values this job. At 64, finding another job is very difficult. The sun is already up and Liu's clothes starting to get wet. I suddenly realize he hasn't had breakfast yet. I want to remind him, but his answer surprises me.
现在2块嘛，我干完了再吃。
This is Liu's strategy. Get the work done early, so he can rest when it gets really hot. Liu really knows what he's doing. He has been a street cleaner since 1998. That's almost 30 years. He is from Hunan, far away from here. He has a son and a daughter, and they both have families of their own. But Liu chose to keep working. It's 8 a.m. now. Liu has been working for 3 hours. The streets are getting busy. Now I finally understand why the streets are always clean in the morning. Because people like Liu are already at work while we're still asleep. Oh, Liu finally stops for a break. He starts eating breakfast. But I notice something. He keeps looking around while he eats. What are you looking for?
我在看垃圾桶啊，很无聊，我的垃圾没办法装，没装我的任务没完成。
He's waiting for the garbage bins. If the bins don't come, the garbage he collected can't be taken away. So his job isn't finished yet. His supervisor could see it as unfinished work. That's why he has to keep an eye out for the bins. Half an hour later, the garbage bins finally arrive. Liu looks happy. He quickly loads the garbage into the bins, one by one. That means he's almost done. After all the garbage is cleared away, I thought his work was finally over. But no. A street cleaner's job is much more than I expected. Let's take a quick look at his daily routine. In the morning, Liu spends 3 hours sweeping the streets. Then he spends another hour clearing the garbage. After 10 a.m., he starts the second stage, keeping the streets clean. He walks around with his broom, picking up new garbage and sweeping the ground. That way, the street stays clean throughout the day. Look, garbage is already appearing again. But Liu tells me, this is actually nothing.
这没什么关系，主要是下雨很麻烦的，垃圾很多的。
Liu tells me this is actually nothing. The real challenge comes in the afternoon. Besides the heat, thunderstorms are common in the afternoon. And after a storm, the street can be a mess. Now, Liu has finished his morning work and heads home. Surprisingly, he doesn't cook. He takes some leftovers from the fridge and opens a bottle of beer.
我想早点休息，有点累，把剩下的吃了就算了。
He's tired, so he keeps lunch simple. Some leftovers and a bottle of beer. After lunch, Liu takes a nap. It's 1:30 p.m. Liu is back on the street and starts working again. The weather forecast was right. The temperature has reached 38 degrees Celsius. It doesn't take long before Liu is covered in sweat. To protect himself from the sun, he bought himself a traditional straw hat. I thought this would be the hardest part of Liu's day. Then, half an hour later, everything changed. The weather suddenly turned. A heavy storm hit. Look, this is what the street looks like after the storm. Garbage, branches, and all kinds of debris are everywhere. This is the kind of mess Liu and other street cleaners hate to see. Still, they have to clean it up, because it's their job. Liu puts on his raincoat and starts cleaning in the rain. The branches are too long to fit in his dustpan, and with all the water, they are much harder to move. Most of the time, Liu has to pick up the branches with his bare hands. But this simple move led to an accident. Oh.
看看，我操，没了，血都没出来。
哦，这有危险的，看一下，
擦了
看一下伤口，看看，
伤口看不出来了。 都给它拔掉了。哎呦！
Liu hurt his hand when he pressed down on the branches with his bare hands. A branch pierced between his fingers.
要包扎一下。走走走走，我带你去包扎一下。包扎一下。
没有，干活都来不及。
But he refused to get it bandaged. He put his rain hat back on and went straight back to work. It's 5 p.m. Liu has finally finished his work. He drinks a big glass of water, then takes out a cigarette. I notice the cigarette pack is already wet. For Liu, a cigarette is his way to relax after a long day. He finishes one cigarette, then lights another.
感觉心象好像要轻松一点。
After the cigarettes, a smile returns to Liu's face. He gets on his bike and heads home. Liu is getting dinner ready. While Liu cooks, let's get him a couple of beers.
不好意思啊，报废吧。
Let's see what he's making tonight. Stir-fried water spinach and pork. Wow, looks like Liu knows his way around the kitchen. Now, let's ask Liu one last question. How long do you plan to keep working?
准备再做2年。我已经64了，给年轻人减去一点5大嘛。
Liu used to be a farmer. His pension is only a few hundred yuan a
压
month.
力也大呀。
So he still relies on his children for support. And that's why at 64, he's still working. If you were 64, would you keep working or retire? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more real stories from China, subscribe to the channel.